Elephants are fascinating subjects to draw, but all that wrinkled skin can feel a little overwhelming at first. In this tutorial, I'll take you through my process for creating realistic elephant skin in colour pencil, showing how I layered colours, added texture, and captured the subtle details that make the finished drawing look lifelike. Before we get started, if you're new here, hello, I'm Lisa, a colour pencil artist, mum, and a wildlife art enthusiast. I create realistic colour pencil tutorials over on Patreon, where our members vote each month on what they'd like to see us draw next. We now have a growing library of more than 70 tutorials, covering everything from wildlife and pet portraits to fruit, food, and watercolour projects. If you'd like to join us, you'll find step-by-step tutorials, sketch guides, reference photos, and a supportive community of fellow artists. The link will be in the description. Now let's take a look at this beautiful elephant and how we're going to bring all of those wonderful textures and details to life. Once you've studied the reference photo and transferred your line art, it can feel a little daunting knowing where to begin. There's so much texture, so many wrinkles, and so many subtle colour changes that it's easy to feel overwhelmed. For a piece like this, I highly recommend working on one section at a time. Breaking the drawing down into smaller, manageable areas prevents frustration and allows you to focus on the details without feeling rushed. Instead of worrying about the entire elephant, you can concentrate on building realistic textures, colours, and values one step at a time. I almost always start with the eye. It's a great focal point to work from and instantly gives the piece some personality and character. Seeing the eye come to life early on can also be really motivating and help the drawing start to feel like an elephant rather than just a collection of outlines. If you look really closely at the reference photo, you can see some little hairs crossing the top of the eyelid, so I went in with my embossing tool to get these in before putting down any colour. These are really small, tiny details, but can make all of the difference. Then just going in with a dark sepia, putting the outline in, using a white waxy pencil to ensure that we keep the highlight section, and then just starting to build up the darker tones where you can see the darkest areas with a really sharp dark sepia pencil. If you don't have one of these, you can also go over with a black pencil, just use it quite lightly. In case you make a mistake, it's always easier to get up if you're using a light pressure. Once you're happy with the shape of the eye, we can start to go in and put down some of the wrinkles we can see around the eye. These are just the darkest lines that we can see. Not worrying about the tones or the base layers yet, this is just mapping out the colours around the eye. I'm using the cold grey one to go into the eye, and then just swatching out some of the blue colours to pick the best one. So I'm using some of the sky blue to go in and create that blue tone, and then just going over with the black to start to darken everything up. Making sure to use a really light pressure on the thinner lines around the eye. And where the lines are darker, just going over with a little bit more pressure or a couple more lines, trying not to push too hard. Around the eye, where there are warmer tones, I'm using burnt ochre to lightly shade the area. Then I'll start adding the grey tones with cold grey 3. This will serve as a light base layer while also helping to blend out the darker, thicker lines. What you want to do is use the cold grey 3 to gently soften the darker wrinkles, blending over each one carefully. Try to keep the lighter grey and white areas in the centre of the wrinkles bright and visible. This contrast is what creates the illusion that the wrinkle is curving into the skin rather than appearing as a flat line on the paper. And then going over with your dark sepia or your black pencil in the very centre of the wrinkle to darken it up, making it appear that the very centre of the wrinkle is the very deepest part. Now let's move on to a larger section of the skin. Start with a light base layer. I'm going in with the cold grey 1 base. Make sure to use gentle pressure so additional layers can be added later. The more layers we get down, the more depth and realistic it will feel. Next, I'm using a cold grey 3 pencil to map in the major wrinkles, biggest lines, and the little details. Observe the reference carefully and sketch the main folds. Wrinkles should follow the form of the elephant's body rather than appearing as random lines. Although you may see in some sections the wrinkles flow around the shape of the body, but then there are cracks and creases against the flow of the body. Make sure to have a sharp point on your pencil and just use the tip of the pencil to add in these lines really gently. You can always get darker later, this is just mapping out the shapes to begin with. Now that we have a bit of an idea where these wrinkles sit on the skin, we're going to keep building up the layers by blending it down with cold grey 1. Starting to add some of the blue, and where there are warmer tones we can start to add some of the burnt ochre. When you're putting these colours down, remember to place your hand further back on the pencil so you're holding the pencil on the side and just gently glazing the colour down. We don't want it to look blue or purple, we just want a hint of this colour in there. So now we have some base layers and we've mapped out some of the wrinkles in the skin. We can start to create skin texture, and this is where we start to render the wrinkles. Depending on how dark the line is, we're moving between the cold grey 5, dark sepia and black to gently put these lines in. Using a really sharp point on your pencil to go gently over each of the lines and gradually build up the tones around these base layers that we've put in. Where there are more shadows and the lines are a little bit darker, we can go around each of them using the cold grey 5 and cold grey 3 just to blend them out a little bit to start to darken the skin. As we complete each section one at a time, it can be tempting to make certain areas too dark too early. With colour pencil, however, it's much easier to deepen values later than it is to lighten them once they're established. That's why we're working with soft, light layers. This approach allows us to build up multiple depths of colour, creating a more realistic and natural appearance. Using light layers also makes it easier to assess the overall values of the piece as it develops. It's much simpler to make adjustments towards the end than it is to apply heavy layers too soon and flatten the texture you've worked to create. So keep your application soft and gradually for now, and we can evaluate and refine the values later in the process. But remember, if this tutorial is going too fast for you or you're wanting it in real time, this is a full real-time tutorial over on Patreon. You get given the reference photo, line art, the material list, and step-by-step video instructions of how to complete this all by yourself. The link will be in the description below. So now that we've created a few sections, let's take a look at a wrinkle and how to render it realistically. A wrinkle typically consists of 3 main parts. The shadow side, this is the darkest area where the wrinkle curves away from the light. 2, the mid-tone transition, a gradual shift in value that helps create the form and depth of the wrinkle. Number 3, the highlight, found on the raised edge where the light catches the surface most directly. By observing and building these 3 elements carefully, you can create the illusion of depth and structure. Rather than thinking of a wrinkle as a simple line, think of it as 3 small dimensional forms, with the light and shadow interacting across its surface. This will help your wrinkles appear more natural and realistic. Some of the common mistakes an artist can make is drawing the wrinkles as simple, thick black lines, making all wrinkles the same width and direction, using only grey pencils, adding no colour, overblending and losing texture, ignoring the overall form and shadows beneath the wrinkles. But in short, guys, this texture isn't easy. It does take a long time to build up. There are so many tiny little details in here. You really need to take your time with it. And then finally, this is my last tip, and that's to put the piece into black and white right up against your reference photo, where you can evaluate the tones and see where you need to get lighter or where you need to get darker. In the tutorial, we'll go over this in more depth, but it's a great way to judge the values at the end of your piece. But this brings us to the end of the video. Remember to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this one. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.